Now, continuing along the idea of a confidence intervals, sometimes they are also written using X bar plus or minus notation because, in that example with the gamers, we found that their mean gaming time was 35 hours in both groups, which, we represent as X bar. And we determined that twice the standard deviation of the sampling distribution was 1.1. And so we often write this as X bar plus or minus 1.1 is a 95% confidence interval for estimating the actual mean of American population. And again, kind of recalling, this is the sample mean, this is the American mean, and we've determined that our sample mean is 95% of the time close by the plus or minus 1.1. And similarly for the Australian gamers, we'd say that plus or minus 0.5 would be the confidence interval. It's just another way that it's written besides writing it in this sort of notation, but it has the same exact meaning. X bar plus 1.1, X bar minus 1.1, etc. Now, also, this kind of brings the idea of what we call a confidence level and a margin of error. Now, of course, we know that there is a margin of error in this that, for a 95% confidence interval, 5% of the time that sampling distribution is going to be off target. Like a visualization from the book shows us how the sampling distribution of X bar will look like, and based on its standard deviation, where if we're looking at actual examples of data taken, it depends on the choices we make of our SRS, right? We take a random sample, we don't know who we're going to get. Sometimes the mean is too low, sometimes the mean is too high, but 95% of the time, that mean is within the confidence level. It's going to be off by so much. And you can kind of imagine that as these red dots are the means. They're within this confidence interval of plus or minus 1.1 or plus or minus 0.5, whatever it is, of the actual result. But, sometimes we might get a mean that is a lot higher than it should be. But, we know that's going to be based on the confidence level. And also, just to sort of refer to what is a margin of error, basically the margin of error is how far away from sort of like the radius, how far away are we allowed, like twice the standard deviation for a 95% confidence interval that we're allowed to do. Like in the previous examples, we'd refer to 1.1 as the margin of error, plus or, usually it's written as plus or minus 1.1. As well. And then in general, a confidence level C would be any percentage confidence, that we'd want to have. Do we want to make sure we're correct 90% of the time, 95%, 80%? Basically, you could adjust this to any confidence level, and we will talk about how we do that in the next video.